Across the Appalachian Mountains is a branch up a creek that tells the story of a man named Gabriel Church, someone whose music landed in the Smithsonian, and he happens to be my ancestor. Listen to the story of Gabe Branch. Gabriel was born around 1802 in Wilkes County, North Carolina. He married Jane Cooper, and eventually they made their home along the rugged mountains. By 1830, records placed Gabriel as the head of a household in Lee County. Later, the family lived in the county that became Wise County, near Roaring Fork. This wasn't an easy land to live on. Imagine waking before sunrise, surrounded by mountains, with fog filling the hollows and miles of wilderness stretching beyond your cabin. Gabriel was a farmer. Every field had to be carved from the mountain landscape. Trees were cut, rocks removed, and soil worked by hand. He planted crops, tended animals, split timber, and raised a large family with Jane. And somewhere along the way, the hollow associated with Gabriel's home because it is known by his name, Gabe's Branch. But Gabriel wasn't remembered only as a farmer. He was also a hunter. And one story passed down through the Church family describes an encounter that sounds almost unbelievable today. Gabriel was reportedly hunting in the mountains when he was attacked by a bear. He had several broken ribs, but Gabriel survived. Strangely enough, that isn't the only bear story connected to this family. Another story reveals a completely different side of life in Gabriel and Jane's mountain home. Gabriel reportedly came out of the forest one day carrying a tiny bear. Imagine Jane opening up the cabin door and seeing her husband standing there with a baby bear in his arms. Instead of rejecting the animal, Jane apparently fell in love with it. Family history says she cared for the little cub almost as though it were like a baby. It's such a small detail, yet somehow it makes Gabriel and Jane feel less like names written in old records and more like real people. Real people I call my family. Gabriel was also remembered as a deeply religious man associated with the Oven Fork Regular Baptist Church. He sang in church, and according to family history, he also wrote songs. At least one of those songs became connected to a real killing in the mountains by a man named Alexander Goins. Around 1844, he was killed in the 9 Mile Spur in Callahan Creek country of southwestern Virginia. The tragedy became the subject of an Appalachian murder ballad remembered as Poor Goins. Think about what that means in the 1840s. There was no radio, no television, no internet. In isolated Appalachian communities, stories traveled from one person to another. Sometimes those stories became songs. A murder could become a ballad. A ballad could travel from cabin to cabin. Gabriel and Jane were surrounded by their children, Mary, Margaret, John, Gabriel Jr., Nancy, Isaiah, Wilson, and young Matthias. This was their world. But around 1865, that world changed. Gabriel left Virginia and crossed the mountains into Letcher County, Kentucky. His youngest son, Matthias Kelly Church, would also settle in Kentucky near his father. Gabriel spent the final years of his life there, and on November the 20th, 1875, Gabriel Church died. June lived nearly another 9 years, dying in October of 1884. Today, a shared memorial bears their names. When they moved to Letcher County, they moved to be with their youngest son, but they always stayed close to family. Gabriel, Jane, Love never ends. But perhaps the most fascinating part of Gabriel's story isn't found in a cemetery. It's back in Virginia. Nearly 2 centuries have passed since Gabriel walked these mountains. His cabin is gone. The people who personally knew him are gone. Some of the songs he reportedly wrote may have disappeared forever. Yet, an old historical map marks a place in those mountains with an extraordinary label: Gabriel Church's house. And when that old landscape is compared to the mountains today, something remains: the creek. The little stream still winds through that Virginia hollow, and it still carries a familiar name: Gabe Branch. Gabriel Church was a farmer, a hunter, a husband and a father, a man of faith, and a storyteller. And he was my 3rd great-grandfather.
And the song is by Gabriel Church of Powell's River. He's a great uncle of mine. This is James Taylor Adams singing this song with his cousin Finley Adams. All you young people that live far and near, I'll tell you of some murder that was done on the 9 Mile Spur. They surrounded poor Goins, but Goins got away. He went to Eli Boggs's, he went there to stay. Eli Boggs, he foreknew him, his life he did betray, saying, "Come and go with me, and I'll show you an highway." When they started up the 9 Mile Spur, boys, they made no delay, till they came to the crossroads where Goins they did slay. When they got in hearing, they were lying mighty still. Your money's what we're after, and Goins we will kill. When they got in gunshot, they bid him for to stand. Your money is what we're after, your life is in our hands. Sweet heaven, sweet heaven, how loud he did cry, to think of my companion, and now I have to die. When the gun did fire, it caused his horse to run. The bullet failed to kill him. George struck him with his gun. After they had killed him, with him they would not stay. They drank up all his whiskey, and then they rode away. His wife, she was sent for, she made no delay. She found his grave dug along by the way. Oh, kill a man for riches or any such a thing. I pray the Lord have mercy till judgment kills the sting. Sweet heaven, we heard her poor mourn. Here lies his poor body, where is his poor soul?